I remember my father telling me stories about the great Ronaldinho and how he was so slick off the ball, or Juninho hitting free kicks every time he got a chance, or even Robinho being fast and unpredictable on the ball. Something that Brazilian players had was freedom and expression. But today, bro, that certain archetype of footballers is dying each and every single season. We have players struggling to even complete 10 dribbles during the match, or even players struggling to produce output to help their team. It feels like Brazilian players are dying. Now, if I had to sit down and tell you that they weren't dying, I'd be lying. What do I mean? If I go back in time and tell my grandparents that in the future, France are considered more of a favorite to win the World Cup than Brazil, they would laugh at me in the face. Brazil lost their identity and they basically lost their credibility in football, bro. Are they a good team? Yes. Do they have a lot of talented players today? Yes. But are they as menacing as they were in the past? No. They lost their touch, man. They lost their passion. And how can I sum this up? Look at the career of a Brazilian footballer that's actually good at football. He's good at a young age, signs for a big club, has a lot of skills in highlight reels. Then what happens? Injuries, lack of consistency, lack of output, and he gets sold to a small club, or he just spends the rest of his career playing at a small team. A lot of experts who say that this is down to a lack of discipline. Most of the Brazilian players have a reputation of partying and coming late to training and just having an attitude overall of doing whatever they feel like. It's the Brazilian nature, to be honest. Having a freedom of expression, having a freedom to do whatever you please. But in today's age of football, expression is what is singled out and pushed to the side. Coaches now want precise directness and also players to follow every single order, just killing the creativity as a whole. It's not only Brazilian players who are going through this situation, it's players who fit that style overall, players who are reliant on their skills, on their ability to beat defenders 1v1, on the ability to get past players in tight positions, are being singled out and pushed to the side for players who just choose the safest option and get on with their football match and collect stats. The common theory is that if you rely too much on skills to make yourself relevant in a football match, eventually you'll be caught out with injuries and your career will be shortened. But I don't believe that, because players like Messi dribble through players each and every day and still have longevity. Ronaldo started out in his career as that fast-paced player who can beat anyone 1v1. And look at how it turned out today. He's playing football at the age of 40-something. What I cut it down to is an ultimate lack of motivation. Think of it as a realistic point of view. From a realistic point of view, you're coming from the slums of Brazil, the deep favelas, where almost everyone is living in poverty. Your ultimate skill and talent in football got you to the top, the pinnacle. You played in the biggest competitions, played in the biggest leagues, got the most game time. Everyone looks up to you now, and you've made as much as money as possible, made more money than anyone in your family. Then you get injured. Now you have a long holiday and you enjoy it with your family and friends. Then you realize, with this money, this can supply me for the rest of my life. Where I grew up, there was a lot of bad influence. But now, I have enough money to make my family happy and we can live together forever. It doesn't matter about being the best or winning the competitions. It just matters that I can live the life I truly wanted. You get what I'm saying? It's all about where they came from and the lack of motivation. I'll tell you now, if you came from a poor background, but as of late you are considered one of the best players in the world, but today you're struggling to put input and you're struggling with injuries, and then you just look at the life that your family is living, bro, because of your football career, you would also lose motivation to try and strive to be better. Not simply because there's no possibility of you becoming better, but it's simply because you've already made it. You see, Brazilians want a simple life. That's what I've seen from all these guys, and that's why they die out slowly. Most of them die out because of an attitude. Most of them die out because of lack of motivation. But majority of them die out because they don't have the fire in them anymore, bro. Currently, right now, everyone wants to be the best, but no one wants to take that mile. Now, I'm not stereotyping Brazilian players or calling out for being lazy or blaming them for having a lack of passion. I'm just simply trying to understand it from their point of view. If you look at all the national teams, the one that has the biggest firepower in terms of talent and production, it's Brazil. Of course, other countries are getting better and better at producing good players and developing into good national teams. But Brazil, bro, has the most potential. They're the ones who developed the love for football better than anyone else. What we need to realize is that Brazilian player who could dribble through 10 players in a row and create a chance from out of nothing is simply fading out day and day because defenders are advancing. Teams are getting better at structuring their players, and just overall, the sport is evolving. That's why if you look at it, a Brazilian player who produces 30 plus GA each and every season in the modern era of football, it's only two players, Vinícius and Rafinha. But the other, we can't see much. But that's just my thoughts. That's my observation. I've been watching for over 10 seasons, bro, and I've just been seeing slowly and slowly Brazil produce that star power less and less, simply because the game is evolving. Now, do they have the power to also evolve with football? That's only a question that Brazil can answer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and watch my next video.